afternoon. You're watching the English newscast on Future Television. I'm Yumna Naufal, and these are today's top stories. The head of Parliament's Telecom Committee hopes that illegal internet would wrap up soon, while urging strict punishment for violators. Kurdish forces are near full control of Syria's city of Hasakeh after battling pro-government militias, marking the most violent confrontation since the war. And Iraqi special forces lead an operation aimed at retaking Qayyada, ISIS's last major urban stronghold in Iraq. The head of Parliament's Telecom Committee says that he hopes illegal internet will soon wrap up in a fair and transparent manner, while urging strict punishment for violators. He says that political motives are compelling some officials to cover up for suspects involved in the illegal internet case. Those officials would be soon named, he added, warning that impunity only encourages more corruption. The telecom minister, Boutros Harib, who revealed the issue of unlicensed internet networks in March, hailed the work of the committee, saying that at the time that low-cost internet networks are operating across the country, estimating Israel was using setups to spy on Lebanon. Harib added that some of the suspects admitted during investigations to owning some of the seized equipment were never arrested. Today, Lebanese authorities located the bodies of 3 people in separate incidents across the country. In the neighborhood of Yunin in the eastern city of Baalbek, members from the Kanaan family killed Lebanese Ali Turki. The state-run national news agency is reporting that Turki was killed in an alleged revenge attack. It also reported that the body of an MD who is from the nearby Deir Zahrani town and owned a gallery in the area was found in Wadi Meire in the southern district of Nabatiyeh. The victim has sustained a gunshot wound. But also separately, the body of a third man in his 40s was also located on the seaside road near the Metin town of Burj Hamoud. A forensics team has yet to determine the cause of deaths. State prosecutor Judge Samir Hamoud is appealing the 5-year sentence handed down to Muhammad al-Nhaili, who beat his wife Manal Asi to death in 2014. On July 14, the criminal court gave Nhaili a mitigated sentence based on Article 252 of the Penal Code, which allows for reduced punishment if a crime occurred as a result of extreme outrage caused by dangerous and wrongful actions committed by the victim. Hamoud rejected this argument, saying that the criminal court misinterpreted and wrongfully implemented the article. Hamoud has called for Nhaili to be sentenced under paragraph 4 of Penal Code Article 549, which stipulates the death penalty for those convicted of murder in cases of where torture or extreme violence is used. Although the state prosecutor has appealed the case, the Court of Cassation will still have to decide whether to overrun the original sentence or leave it in place. Kurdish forces were in near full control of Syria's city of Hasakeh after battling pro-government militias, though some government officials remain holed up in buildings in the city center, according to a Kurdish official and monitoring group. The battle over Hasakeh marks the most violent confrontation between the Kurdish YPG militia and Damascus in more than 5 years of civil war, and victory would be a major boost for the Kurds, despite Turkish efforts to curb their gains. Ankara, which is fighting militants from its own Kurdish minority, has begun to step up efforts to curb the growth of influence in Syria. It backs Sunni Arab groups that are also hostile to the YPG. Hasakeh's remaining government officials were confined to a few buildings in the city center, while the rest of the city was under Kurdish control, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. Deadly clashes are raging on between Yemeni government forces battling to secure an entrance to the besieged city of Taiz, as well as Houthi rebels surrounding it. Backed by the Saudi-led Arab coalition, Yemeni troops launched an offensive last week to break the rebel siege on Yemen's flashpoint third city in the country's southwest. However, the heaviest fighting was near its western entrance, where airstrikes by the Arab coalition and ground battles left 11 dead among Houthi rebels and their allies. An air raid killed 2 more rebels at the northern entrance of Taiz, which has been encircled for more than a year. The main road linking Taiz to the south is still under rebel control. Despite the latest loyalist advances, mines planted by the rebels around the city are so far hampering the delivery of much-needed humanitarian aid. Coming up next, Hillary Clinton speaks to Jimmy Kimmel, and we've got it right here. We'll be back. Welcome back. You're watching the English news here on Future Television. Iraqi special forces are leading an operation aimed at retaking the extremist-held town of Qayyada, ISIS's last major urban stronghold in Iraq, a key staging base for operations to attack Mosul. U.S.-led coalition aircraft provided support, according to the spokesman for the operations command in Nineveh, the province in which Qayyada and Mosul are located. Counterterrorism Service spokesman Sabah al-Noman said that the operation is ongoing and achieving its goals. He added that Iraqi forces had been working with armed residents inside the town for this offensive. The mayor of Qayyada district said around 15,000 civilians were believed to be trapped under ISIS's rule in the area. He added that the counterterrorism service forces were making quick progress in Qayyada and had already retaken key landmarks in the town hours after the launch of the operation. Police patrolled the Turkish border town of Karkamis after 2 mortar shells from Syria hit the area. The military fired 40 shells at 4 Islamic State targets in Syria. Smoke could be seen rising from the Syrian side of the border, but the cause was not clear. The 2 mortar shells which hit the town of Karkamis, which did not cause casualties, were apparently fired during clashes between Syrian rebels and Islamic State militants in northern Syria. Karkamis neighbors the Syrian town of Jarablus, which Turkish-backed Syrian rebels are preparing to attack and seize from the Islamic State, would prove a move that would frustrate Kurdish hopes to expand there. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is in Nigeria to meet religious leaders in the remote northwestern city of Sokoto. Kerry expressed solidarity with their efforts in building a prosperous and peaceful society during his meeting with the Sultan of Sokoto, one of Nigeria's most influential Islamic leaders. Kerry will give a speech on how to tackle Boko Haram fighters, and Nigeria has been pushing the United States to sell its aircraft to take on Boko Haram, a group that emerged in northeastern Borno region 7 years ago and has killed an estimated 15,000 in its fight to set up an Islamist state. Nigeria has been trying to persuade the U.S. to sell its aircraft, saying its human rights record have improved sufficiently for a blockade on arms deals to be lifted. Peru confirms that there are serious indications that a group of police officers extrajudicially executed suspected criminals in a scheme to earn promotions and rewards from their superiors by appearing to stop dangerous people. Deputy Interior Minister Rubin told journalists that the group operated between 2012 and 2015 is believed to have been responsible for killing at least 20 suspected criminals in 6 separate police operations. He also said there were 2 officers, a general and a commander, and 7 junior officers involved, but refused to name them. The preliminary investigation also found that alleged death squad worked across the country, had access to sensitive information reserved for a special police group. The public prosecutor's investigation is ongoing. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is urging the Justice Department to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate if donors to the Clinton Foundation got special treatment from the State Department when it was run by his rival Hillary Clinton.
Her actions corrupted and disgraced one of the most important departments of government, indeed, one of only 4 established by the United States Constitution itself. The Clintons made the State Department into the same kind of pay-for-play operation as the Arkansas government was. Now, think of what happened back then. Think about it. And I love the state of Arkansas. We're winning it big, but I'll tell you, they know what went on. They know, and they're not happy. Pay the Clinton Foundation huge sums of money and throw in some big speaking fees for Bill Clinton, and you got to play. You got to do what you wanted to do. It's pretty sad. This is in front of the State Department. This is in front of the State Department. And long before that, you should have seen what they were doing in Arkansas. Same old story, folks. The amounts involved, the favors done, and the significant number of times it was done require an expedited investigation by a special prosecutor immediately. After the FBI or Department of Justice whitewashed Hillary Clinton's email crimes, They certainly cannot be trusted to quickly or impartially investigate Hillary Clinton's new crimes, which happen all the time. We are the future. Another major part of our agenda is immigration security. We need to protect American jobs. We need to protect American safety. We're going to build a wall, folks. We're going to build a wall. We're going to build a wall. Don't worry, we're going to build the wall. That wall will go up so fast, your head will spin. And you'll say, you know, he meant it. And you know what else I mean? Mexico is going to pay for the wall. 100%.
Democrat Hillary Clinton says on late-night television that sometimes she feels she's in an alternative universe in the United States presidential race against Donald Trump. She's the first time responding to allegations made by him and some of his backers that she is suffering health problems that could be problematic in the White House should she win the November 8th election. Both Clinton and Trump have released notes from doctors declaring them physically fit for the presidency. And Clinton says that sometimes his remarks about her, such as a recent charge that she was responsible for the Islamic State, which later he said was sarcasm, go beyond personal attacks.
I do feel sometimes like this campaign has entered into an alternative universe. I have to sort of step into the alternative reality and, you know, answer questions about am I alive?
I think it would be...
How much longer will I be alive and the like.
Are you in good health?
Well, this has become one of their themes. Here, you take my pulse while I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Make sure I'm alive.
Oh my God, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. There's enough evidence now that, you know, when Trump talks the way he talks, it actually helps the terrorists because they make a case, as they made with this comment. Oh, well, you know, see, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, they created ISIS. We heard this from Donald Trump, who's running for president. He's the Republican nominee. So I think it's crazy, but I think it's also harmful.
This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a reminder of our headlines. The head of Parliament's Telecom Committee hopes the illegal internet file will wrap up soon while urging strict punishment for violators. Kurdish forces near full control of Syria's city of Hasakeh after battling pro-government militias, marking the most violent confrontation between them and the Kurdish YPG. And Iraqi special forces lead an operation aimed at retaking ISIS' last major stronghold in Iraq, a key for taking over Mosul. Those are your Tuesday Headline Live on Future Television. I'm Yumna Naufal, wishing you all a good night.